You've walked a long way up the ridgeline, traveller. Sit down, catch your breath. The mountain wind is hitting the mills perfectly today, and the dough is finally rising right. Up here, the air is thin, but it makes the crust crispier than anything you'll find down in the valley.
Is that why the Vanguard sent me all the way up this peak? Just for a crispier crust?
Not just the crust. Look out there at the high mills. Those sails grind grain harvested from the lower terraces. The friction builds a unique heat that changes the flour entirely. Ordinary valley mills can't match it.
And what about these massive loaves on the counter? They look heavy enough to dent armor.
That's the hearth loaf. Hard on the outside, completely soft within. Feel that. It's still warm from the bricks. One of these keeps a man full for 3 days on the trail.
Fair enough. Show me how the machinery handles that grain.
Follow me then. Let's head inside the main mill before the afternoon wind picks up too much. Ah, look at that golden light hitting the lower terraces. Never gets old.
It's beautiful. Almost makes me forget how steep this hill actually is.
Well, here we are. This is the heart of the whole operation. When the wind catches the sails just right, you can hear the gears humming all the way down the valley.
I used to think the city was loud because everyone was shouting. But then I started painting the walls, and I realized the city was just trying to be heard. Every color, every crack, every name sprayed in the dark, it all says the same thing. We were here. We felt something, and we refused to disappear.
Lip syncing with an existing audio file and an image of your choice has never been easier, because now we have the LTX Director Node. Instead of adding just one image, you can now guide your lip sync generations with multiple images or text prompt blocks. The most important part of the Director Node is that you can use any audio you have without trimming it first. You can simply expand or shrink the audio file with your mouse, choose the exact part you want on the timeline, and the whole process becomes much easier and faster. You can find the pauses in the timeline and separate your chunks accordingly. Huge respect to the creator for making this amazing node, and please show him some support. Now, I'll walk you through the process of creating a video like this using the 8GB optimized workflow with the Director Node. First, you need to generate the image, and you can use a Z-Image Turbo workflow to do that. To create more images with consistent characters while placing your subject in different settings, you can use models like Flux2Klein or Qwen Image Edit if you're strictly using local models. If you want faster and more consistent results, you can also use GPT Image 2. That's exactly what I did when creating the images for this clip, so I could fully focus on creating the video. However, if you want full creative freedom, the Z-Image Turbo and Flux2Klein 9B combo is the clear choice, especially for low VRAM users who want professional results without waiting forever. It's really easy to create a character sheet using GPT Image 2, and then you can use that sheet to place your character in different settings and contexts. To generate the dialogue, I used Google AI Studio. Click on the playground here, and then select the Models option here. Next, click on Speech and Music, and select the Gemini 3.1 Flash TTS Preview option right here. It's completely free. Here you have multiple options to choose from, and I selected the guarded NPC option for the preview you saw at the beginning of the video. Here are the default options you get once you're there, and I changed the scene to a sunlit mountain ledge with roaring wind. Stone windmills spin in the background while wood-fired stone ovens crackle and pop nearby. And for the sample context, I used Fantasy RPG Town Interaction. The conversation is grounded, casual, and conversational. Pacing is steady, shifting naturally as characters move and gesture. Next, you have to choose a voice. For the female voice, I chose Sulafat, and I changed the default description from a stern and weary gatekeeper to a friendly and confident female baker. The default style here is deadpan, which gives you a dry delivery, making it unsuitable for our specific context. So I changed it to vocal smile to match the personality of our female protagonist. You can also use the empathetic option as well. The pace is set to natural, and the accent is British RP. For the male traveler, I used Puck. I changed courageous here to weary and kept the other default settings. Then, you type your dialogue here and click on Run. Once it's generated, you can download it by clicking the download icon. Here are all the chunks I used to generate the clip you saw, and these PNGs include the metadata for the exact workflow settings I used to generate these clips. Let's drag and drop the first PNG into the ComfyUI window. Now, these are the exact settings I used to create the first chunk. I used Sulphur MXFP8 as the model. I used the talking head LoRa at a strength of 0.8. Here's the image I used. I generated this using GPT Image 2 and upscaled it to 4K using the Seed VR2 upscaler. I tried the same prompt using the Z Image Turbo Beyond Reality checkpoint without using any LoRa's, and here's what I got. GPT Image 2 nails that old fantasy vibe compared to Z Image Turbo. The image I got using Z Image Turbo looks too realistic and modern. These are the exact video settings I used for this chunk. You might wonder why the duration is set to something like 6.58 seconds. Since I'm limited to 8GB of VRAM, I can only generate up to 8 seconds of 1080p, 25 frames per second footage, even when using the chunk feed forward node here. So, I have to find a pause in the audio before the 8-second mark when trying 1080p generations. And this is where our pause is. Let me set the duration here to 0, delete these files, and start from scratch. Absolutely make sure to set custom audio to on, and then upload your audio. This audio clip is 81 seconds long, and we have to chunk it to generate the clips. Let's find our pause, which is immediately before 8 seconds. You don't need to manually calculate it. Just click on the Duration Seconds tab, hold it, and drag your cursor to the right. Look at the audio clip and drag it until you reach the first pause. Here it is, and it's only 3.87 seconds. We can push further, and here's where we should stop. This is the immediate pause before 8 seconds, and it's around 6.6 seconds. Now, it's difficult to manage the timeline when the audio clip is this long, so let's shrink it. Here's what we get, and now let's add our image, drag it to fit our timeline, and type the prompt. Make sure to add this trigger word in the prompt to activate the LoRa. I used the linear quadratic scheduler and the LCM sampler for these generations. When generating the second chunk, you don't need to upload the audio clip again. You can simply start from where you stopped by doing this. This is the workflow I used to generate the second chunk. Here, I used 2 reference images as the first and last frames. Now, it took me a lot of generations to build this entire clip. In some generations, the windmill stayed static, and I couldn't get the walking right on the first try. However, if you're just doing close-up or medium close-up talking head lip syncing without messy background movement like this one, you can get pretty consistent results. Once you've generated your clips, use RTX Super Resolution to upscale them, and then throw them into your video editor to stitch the final video together. Here, you have the links to all the models you need, including the lip sync LoRa. And if you want an in-depth explanation of the workflow, please watch my previous video. Tell me how it goes for you in the comments. If you found the video helpful, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.